Hey YouTube, today we're going to be replacing these sway bar links in our 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. If you recall, I lifted it some time ago just with a 2 and a 2.5 inch lift, and I wanted to go ahead and replace it with these length appropriate, a little bit beefier sway bar links. These came from Fat Bob's Garage, and I'll have a link to where I got them in the description below. So let's go ahead. These are the shorter ones, and these are for the front, and these are the longer ones for the rear. They're manufactured by Zone Off-Road, which means they're pretty good. The kit comes with some bushings and some sleeves for the front, some bushings and some sleeves for the rear, as well as a bolt to replace one of the factory bolts. It also comes with some instructions which I tore while I was ripping the box open. Don't need them really. We could go ahead and start putting these things together by putting the rubber bushings into the sway bar links and pressing these little sleeves into them. You could press these in just like you would do when you're putting shocks on. A little bit of dishwashing liquid helps for lubrication. Just a little bit. A drop really. And they should just press right in. It's a little bit of dishwashing liquid in there to give it a little bit of lubing. And then we're just gonna press him in real tight. I'm just using a piece of board as a work surface because of that soft mat does. There we go. Press right in. One done. So with the ends in place, with the bushes in place, we just need to slide these in. Just press them in. They'll go right in. If they're tough, you could just always use a little bit of dishwashing liquid again, just to lubricate them and push them in. It's a little bit on here. And we'll just slide right on in. Yeah. Slide right on in. Do the rest now. Here's all 4 links done. Bushings and sleeves pressed in. Really easy once you use a little bit of dishwashing liquid. Alright, so here's the Jeep. If you're looking inside the wheel well, this is the upper sway bar link mount. Down below, you can see right there where it connects to the chassis. So you don't really need, or where it connects to the axle. So you don't really need to jack the Jeep up and take the wheel off and all that. If you turn the wheel enough, you could get to that bolt and you could get to the one from the underside. And they both just torque to about 70 pounds, foot-pounds. So it shouldn't be too hard to get out. Hope you could see in there. I put a universal joint on this thing just to make turning a little bit easier. Let's see if we could knock it out with this thing. Alright, there's the upper nut out. Time to do the lower one. There we go. So just comparing the stock and this stock front to the new front, you can see it's quite a bit beefier, straighter. There's a little angle on the face to compensate for this offset. The instructions didn't really say which side to put on top, but the stock bolts fit both ways. So hopefully you can see this is the top of the sway bar. We're just going to use the stock hardware and connect this bad boy, and then we're going to go to the underside, and the bolt goes from the inside out in the way. This goes on the inside sway bar like so, and the bolt goes from the inside out with a nut on the outside. So we could ideally just put the bolt in there. Just run that thing up, and then we connect the bottom one. Now I just have this run up, right? But if you could see, this is a little bit longer than the stock, and the other side is still connected. So to make this one connect, we're gonna have to pry this up a little bit, or go ahead and disconnect the other side. So just for the time being, to make this easier to go in, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the other side. With the passenger side disconnected, I can move this sway bar freely. Okay, that one is torqued. Okay, that one's done. Now we're just gonna repeat the process on the other side. The rear is a little bit more straightforward today. Inside the wheel well, there's one bolt here, and it just comes out underneath right there. I might have to get the entire thing from the underside, but let's go ahead and try it. Okay, let's try it. Okay, it did work. One, let's go ahead and do the underside. Alright, this thing here is super tough. So I think the easiest thing for me to do would be to just go ahead and drop the other side, let the sway bar dangle down, and then I could use the impact wrench on it. Alright, so here we go, one side out. I'm gonna go ahead and take the other side out. That way it's easy. We could let this thing dangle, or yeah, dangle, and then put both sides up. So here's the rear stock versus the extended ones. You can see they're quite a bit longer, quite a bit beefier as well. There's no offset on these like there on these, and this one came with hardware to attach the lower mount. We use the stock upper mount on this. Put this on loosely first and then come back on and tighten it up.
We're just gonna do both lower sides first. Then catch up the upper side, come back, torque down the lower side, and then torque the upper side. So here's this thing all connected up. There's the top. There's the bottom. Both sides. Top in place. And there's the bottom. Now I need to torque this down. The top torques to 70 foot-pounds and the bottom torques to 40. 40 foot-pounds. So here it is, all buttoned up, rear, down below there. The front. And this one you can't really see it. But the only thing left to do is to put my tools away and take it for a test drive. This was tough. It only took an hour to do all four. Hope you like this. If you do, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.